Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful, empowered harmonizers. We are zooming in and focusing in today on a great viewer question, and that is to go more in depth on the covert narcissist, and apparently what I'm going to call as apathy. Just sort of a I could care less attitude that you see from a covert narcissist, someone who has a pathological sense of their self-importance and coupled with a lack of empathy, which means they don't really understand or care to understand or connect with the experience of others. So when we talk about living and how do you feel fulfilled, if there's you have all sorts of experiences in life, meaning you might go into a beautiful ocean, and it's warm, and there's beautiful waves, and it's bright blue turquoise, and you might have this very uplifting, euphoric experience. That's a feeling. That's your etheric, emotional energy in motion. Your passion, things that drive you. It's usually from right in here. You feel a core, what people would call your core. You feel a resolve, a strength, an I am. And it's just sort of a sense of being within that's based on security and serenity, and a sort of knowing, and a sort of from that spot, all sorts of other proper decisions, communication, experiences will flow through it, unless it's sort of clogged up or had a lid put on it from a covert narcissist. So when you have experiences, oftentimes there is a human desire to share these things, meaning because it doubles the pleasure, double the fun, doublemint gum. Okay, you can laugh together, you play off each other. That's a shared experience. Covert narcissist, you don't really get the feeling that you're sharing something with them. It feels like they have an apathy. They're bottled up. You know, do you ever see people that are, or people in the media, they're just, if they're getting in trouble, Biden, Kanye West, they've all got they're doing something with their lips. It looks like they're folding, the lips of, I'm not talking. Their lips pursed, tight-lipped. Just as if they don't care to give you the glance or time of day, which means it communicates a feeling of worthlessness to those who are around them. And this is not the case, but this is the communicated message that the body receives. Your body has specific sense needs, eye contact, mirroring of emotions. That is empathy. We literally have mirror neurons that reflect back experiences from one another. Someone comes running at you, that was so scary. I mean, you can feel, that's empathy. Not feeling sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry you had, empathy is to be able to be with someone in their feelings, and to sort of and not feel that you're losing out on something because you're talking about another person. These are the people who constantly don't want to talk about you, but they're either just not talking, or it's only about themselves. It's only about what they're doing. And this can create a lot of stress for people. If you feel that you're not on the same wavelength, you're not on the same get up and go, you're not on the same time zone, you're not in the same path, you always have to kind of motivate them out of an apathy, meaning you have to explain and justify, cajole, persuade. This is work. This takes, or feeling that you are in it alone. It's sort of a feeling that you will get in a covert narcissist, and sort of what does their apathy mean? Just sort of they're apathetic. They don't want to lift a finger. They don't want to move a muscle. They don't want to do anything about it. They don't care to hear about it, even though they have the intelligence, they have the capacity. They have 2 ears, they have some eyes, they have all the things that are required. They just don't apply it. They just don't it's like they don't want to contribute. It's a feeling that they don't want to spend their money. They don't want to give you the time of day. It would mean something, and to them, they don't want to get involved, or they just don't get involved. They have a pathological sense of self-importance, meaning I'm more important. What I need is more important than this other person, even if it's a spouse, a colleague, a child, etc. Children in, school. I know we have, covert narcissist teachers, apathetic towards their students, knowing fully well what their students need, not giving it to them. Why? It would take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, going out of their way, sticking their neck out a little, but no, that they would rather get a coffee, get a Starbucks, have a Facebook chat, have an Instagram upload, or something that pertains to them. And so this sort of goes along unless somebody knows that somebody needs to be stuck up for, meaning you feel that they just don't support or stick up for you. So, people in life, they do need a support system. It's not a sign of weakness to need support. And by the way, I just want to give a huge shout out to NG. Thank you so much for your recent donation and support. I really appreciate your contribution to the channel. It helps keep the lights on, so thank you so much. Good to hear from you, blowing you air hugs. And if there's any questions that you have, please feel free to comment or ask. And so people do need a support system. They do need to have someone that has their back. Not in a way that is unsupportive or what you'd call gratuitous, for the picture, for da-da-da, but literally has your back. With repetition and experience and consistency, it's who they are. They, if they're sick, they'll go to the hospital with you. Covert narcissist, if you're sick, they've got a spreadsheet to make. They've got something due. They've got, other things. They're just, they elicit sort of a lack of, or it seems, the appearance is if that they assign a lack of importance to others. And if you're not being attended to, the body takes it the same as rejection, as an attack, as a saber-toothed tiger is running after you, ready to claw you for its meat. That sends your heart palpitation, the fight or flight system goes into effect. You're living in anxiety and fear most of the time because you're not receiving what you need. You're not too needy. Oftentimes there's just a lack of ability that these individuals have to extend themselves, to support, to be able to stop working, to be able to stop doing whatever it is that is fulfilling to them. And apathy, they just don't care. They shrug a shoulder. It's not important. They're not moved by it when you feel that they should be. They don't make the effort. Sorry about that. They don't just seem to have a validation of others' experiences and the way that you need. It's not selfish to say, to have someone tell you, great job. You did a great job today with the family. That was amazing breakfast that you made. It's amazing that you do this every day. Like giving compliments, just giving, showing appreciation, recognition. These are things that are not just reserved for the workplace. Sales trophies, parties. You need acknowledgement and validation of the emotional, of the meaningful, of the absolute, of the etheric, meaning sharing the wow, sharing experiences. So feeling like you cannot quite share, or feeling that you have to do too much to communicate, and it's not seeking in, meaning you're working too hard in the relationship. It's not fair. And there's a specific mood that will set in that oftentimes creates as a result of a lack of having fair treatment. and an anger can develop within people if they feel that there's been too much apathy. They're not moving. They're not listening. They're not attending, and you have to sort of get underneath them, like put a fire underneath them or something, and it's tearing you down. You're having to have or plug too much. This will create an anxiety and an anger that you haven't been treated fairly, and resentment. So you need to let go of that need and sort of plug back within. A covert narcissist, they remain aloof. They just they're in it to have their own, they've got their own fantasy or their own vision of how they want things to be. And sometimes that will require sort of the using or supply of others with a lack of relating, a lack of sharing. And then a communicating that there is a lack of interest, a lack of spontaneity. And not all people are spontaneous. But there's just, in other words, you have to fight it to get a compliment. You have to, and this will burn people out. This will drain your energy. This will be depleting. And you do need to have a feedback loop where you're fulfilled, and to know what that is. And so you might have to take that up and pick that up. Even though this person has exemplified apathy towards me, what I really believe and want to share with others is, even though my happiness, my joy, my initiative has been met with apathy, I still have a fire burning within. I still have my passion. I still have my laughter. I still have my humor. They haven't taken my golden shoes, jewel. They might take your golden shoes, but they cannot steal your laughter. Meaning, they might apparently, not share with you in certain things, but there's a certain part of you that's still alive and kicking. And go kick it. Go do it. Go feel it. Go be it. And having a goal and having a feeling, not being scared by it, not feeling afraid that it's going to be met with apathy or rejection. That will create a fear loop. When you're absolutely ready, you're absolutely okay, you're absolutely perfect, don't worry about it. Just because you haven't received the feedback that you have needed or required doesn't mean it has to be an ongoing lifelong deficit. You can put the brakes on it now and see what it's done and see how it has stopped. And you have a reason for being. You have a reason for feeling. You have a reason for your drive. You have a desire. You have a need. And that need is fulfilled when even though it seems strange, what I really need and what I need to do is, what I need to fulfill myself within is, light a candle, get a pet, redo my bathroom, get rid of this and this mess, take up a job, get a job, start reading, stop burying yourself, stop hiding. There might be certain things that you need to stop or start doing, and you kind of know it, but sometimes you need to hear it. You need to explore. Maybe you want to scuba dive. Maybe you want to go horseback riding. Maybe you want to take an adventure to your local mall and just see what's going on there after this pandemic. Maybe you want to just go and take a cruise, take a boat ride, or do nothing at all. Maybe just want to get the best pair of slippers that Earth ever had and just say, I'm taking I'm taking this day and I'm living my life, and so it is. And then you're living, and with repetition and experience of affirming that and speaking that up. And it doesn't mean you have to make big, huge, lofty goals. Oh, well, you can and manifest. Start with little things. I can feel good. I am. I can stop the anxiety. I know where the brakes are. I know how to release and let go of body armoring. body armor. I mean, it's always out there that you are supposed to have some body armor. You know, men, you got patches here, patches there. You know, you're armoring up, defending yourself, holding on to an anxiety for some sort of fear that you don't know about. You know, life becomes a lot more comfortable when you stop over-armoring your body, defending and justifying. You know, is your body burning inside? You know, then you're realizing then you're holding on to too much anger. You're clenching your jaw, you're clenching your buttocks, your legs. You know, you're fiddling. You have to be able to realize the value of existing and being. And so tapping into some new values within you that give you sort of a new value reservoir, and valuing recognition and saying, I value recognition, or I value not being yelled at. I value not being ignored. I value being supported. You know, and being able to acknowledge and validate this, and not to have this with a heat of resentment and aggression added into it. Because then you're utilizing the negativity, you're still holding onto and validating and causing to come into the existence the very negativity that you're wanting to remove. So stop bringing the negativity into your life. Stop, you know, bringing it in bags into your life. Stop bringing in big, you know, hours of pockets of moments where you're not feeling okay about something. You know, allow yourself to enliven the moment. And what does that mean? What really scares me is you could be scared of joy. You could be scared of success. It doesn't seem like it, but oftentimes people who have relationships with covert narcissists, oftentimes they're fearful of their success. They're fearful it isn't real, it isn't reality, it's an imposter, it's going to get them in trouble, they have a guilt. They're afraid of some old cycle. And realize that, you know, you can look forward and be forward. And just be in that moment and not having to work, try, and impress. But, you know, and realize that you in that state are in your power, and that the world wants you happy. The world wants you calm. The world wants you not chewing your fingernails off. The world wants you not, you know, picking a sore on your head or your feet. The world wants you calm. The world wants you to not grind your teeth. The world wants you to be happy. You know, that's what the universe wants, these good things. Oftentimes that's met with disbelief because it contradicts the reality that a covert narcissist has sort of projected. So you have to look at then what is your truth and what are you subconsciously pushing away about your truth and not acknowledging and validating certain strengths or certain needs that's causing you to stay isolated or in a rut. What I really need is, even though it seems too much, what I really need is, even though it seems a lot, what I really need and want is, even though it seems crazy, what makes me happy is, even though it seems like I'm not doing anything, what I really enjoy is. And when I'm finding true, truly, my true evolution, what is my true progress, if that is, what is that truly and really for me, even if I don't have to defend and justify. What value do I need to inhabit? What reality do I need to inhabit? What I am I, just basically tapping into, that I'm trying to, shut off? Have you ever seen people when they're angry? They're holding that, they're holding something in. Stop bottling it up. Stop being run over. Stop being a pushover. Stop saying no when you mean yes, yes when you mean no. And you'll find a lot of that extra noise chatter will just stop. And that will be okay. That is clarity. The world is okay with you being happy, with you being who you are. And that is good news. So this is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. Do not get dismayed. Do not get done undone by the apathy, the aloofness, or the lack of support of someone who's a covert narcissist. Know that there are real needs that you have and can attract to your reality. Support for your I am, and allow it to be just as it is. Not overdoing, not underdoing, but in the balance and in the center and in the right focus, and allowing that to be. And then getting the results and knowing yourself, what are those results? How do I know this? Have a beautiful day. Peace out.